If you find yourself in need of comfortable garb, I'm happy to oblige. I've been known to rip a seam. Thought I was an armorer, did you? Assumed that my tree stump limbs and barrel chest lend themselves better to... Did you see these? If it's armor you're after...
I'll see it done.
Did the Queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I've never seen Aruihi run so fast.
Do you think the Audra Colossus would come here next?
Pray to Kahopa, it does not.
Takehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time.
Guildmaster, I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
Ikera, the significance is clearer to some than others.
For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
Ugh, insufferable. Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection? Kira, I bring art to the Guild of Water Shapers, but they do not tolerate what I am is to blame, I say. Just so. Blessed and cursed at birth, I say. Water shaping is Ngati's gift to the Huana, and apparently I am too. Savior to the tribes. The only question is, do I return to my duties, or while away a few hours in the bathhouse? The guild can wait until I am good and ready to return. A watcher? And here I am used to being the freak of Pariki's. What does a watcher do? Ikera, just so. I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist. My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy. To brew ink and Will we do much fighting, then? You are not unknown to me, I say. And louder whispers of a corpse who fought. What will you do when you catch up to this walking god? They will, I say, have bickering thoughts on the matter. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by us.
Always worth suspecting the captain be drawn to the blue in the beautiful.
Lead on. It will be good to put some... A fair warning, Captain. Ingati gifted her favorite son with more than his... Good guess. Only for as long... I say you will learn.
You might find
How
this
long do you
interesting.
reckon it takes for a place to look like this?
What say, friend? The guild's sanctum has seen better days. A sanctum for master water shapers, I say. No student. I have never been there myself. Myru assures me that caring for the guild hall usually means drying off when others get wet in practice. I'll see it done.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Leave it to me. I'll see it done. Leave it to me. I'll see it.
You had no right to interfere in Rawatai's business.
Huana culture is
I don't give two
business, you
pyres for
company
your
drudge.
tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemir cares even less.
If this is what passes for Rautai in diplomacy, Razanui has bigger problems.
If you've come to see Arkemir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
Arkemir could be drinking Koiki wine with dead kings. There's no finding him if he doesn't want to be found.
The wizard got his hands on a Huana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rawatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The Queen sent me to remind you both. A spellcaster, and a damn good one. Specializes in hexes and illusions. He and his apprentice run the Dark Cupboard, a local magic shop.
I believe that he had dealings with black market treasure hunters. Not that the Queen will implicate him.
She's too preoccupied negotiating with the warmongers at her door. I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island.
I suppose I can spare a moment. I heard tell of Ephron, a thief with a penchant for making house calls. Word has it that Ephron made his way inside of Archimir's manor and later died. Now his soul is bound to the fortune-telling machine in the Dark Cupboard. Strange fate. I help finance expeditions around the Isles, which often means keeping an ear to the ground. Not very romantic from behind a desk, but Rawatai's campaign could use the extra coin. All of her pretenses of cultural pride are a means to an end. Like the rest of the Huana, she isn't above exploiting any advantage if she can profit from it. As you say, it's a handsome piece of rock, which some call valuable. I won't dispute that point if the value goes to Rawatai. Arkemir is a magical savant and a recluse. That makes for a very dangerous combination. He relies on imps and ironclad constructs to maintain the estate. When you've lived as long as Arkemir, I suppose trust becomes a problem. I suppose it's no secret that we're after more than some arbitrary cultural touchstone. We're looking for a route to Ukaizo. It stands to reason that ancient lore would be a key to finding the place. Fine by me. I'm looking forward to the day when it comes to finding the Lost Island, we can't afford to neglect any lead. The Ranganui seeks to saddle the weather and harness the storm. If there is a place where this can happen, it is Ukaizo.
What a mess. This is why wizards get a bad reputation.
I got nowhere else to turn. Stonehill is going to kill me.
Don't drag me into your mess, Berteno. Not again.
Then you leave me no choice. I'm sorry.
Hey, come back with that! Madiko! That flaccid Batso! Imp, you had none of that, huh? That's what I thought. What am I going to do? Think, Fascina. My postinago of a lover stole Rokawa's fingers. The master will kill me if I don't get them back. He must have wanted to raise some fast coin. Arkemir will flay me alive over those damned gloves. I cannot tell if you're stupid or very, very stupid. Bring me the gloves and I'll give you the key to the front door. And we never had this discussion. Deal? I do not know where Bertenno fences his goods, but he mentioned an appointment at the Bra Citadel docks. He mentioned that he owes money to a Raotayan captain named Hamuto Stonehill. Not someone to cross, I hear. Bertenno stole Rokawa's fingers to pay off his debt. If Arkemir finds out, he will boil me into broth for his imps. Is it strange? I don't know. Go consult Arkemir's grimoire if you're that curious. He said that he's in debt to a Raotayan captain by the name of Hamuto Stonehill. By all accounts, a deadly serious man. You do not know Arkemir, do you? He is as cheap as a Wodican clerk. Whatever he loses from those gloves, he will take out on me. Somehow. Not that it's any of your business, but Bertenno used to spend a lot of late nights here. I got into the construct's guts and marked off Bertenno as a safe visitor so they would not attack him. And before you ask, no, I will never do this again. Suddenly, my whole existence revolves around these gloves. Incredible. Go on, then.
You see that? I don't be supposing we could blow it up. I don't be supposing we could easy breezy, wet and sleazy.
Leave it to me.
Seraphin, thought we agreed you'd stay out of my head.
I weren't in your head, lad. You think like an ogre snores. Would be a fool and a half not to make sure them thoughts ain't full up of trouble.
What do you think you're gonna find?
Nothing particular, just, anything.
Have you heard about the commotion at the palace?
Of course. Something about Luminous Adra.
A giant made of luminous adder.
All I know is that they're all at each other's throats up there.
The Hazanui is at the palace, blaming the Valians for attacking one of their ports.
Well, did they?
Of course not. But the Queen must calm them down before they go to war over it.
What are you doing here? Then permit me to escort you safely. You! What are you doing here? The offices are closed at this hour. I am to escort you safely from the premises. Alarm! Intruder!
Bring them down!
Bloody.
There's no money here, only pain.
It's me too.
Crush your eyes. Have your works cut out. For it now. I'll
Darkness flows in the...
You, what are you doing here? Then permit me to escape.
You crack the spine of the old book, revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides, the air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash. Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheek...
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help. Watcher, before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. You deserve my thanks, beloved. Since matters came to a close in the Deerwood, I have been more... well, it's been years since I felt this deliciously righteous. While Bareth whispers in one ear and Aethys shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker, unless a mortal is watching. I would never deny that our pantheon is emotional, willful, and prone to overreaction. But we didn't get this far arguing over minutiae. If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures? What indeed? That would depend on which of us you ask. A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter. Judge for yourself, but I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that. So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions. Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Mortals like you come but once in a lifetime. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate. Before I return to Eora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong. To demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future. You speak as if you do. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan. Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos. It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Eora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come. On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic. A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong. Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, that is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority. His approach was sophisticated, indirect. I owe you no explanations on the matter. Theos was precious to me above all others, but I am proud to have you acting in his stead. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer. If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse. Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal. Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived, and it would fall to me to clean up after their mess. Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Woedica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Bring them down!
nest.
Seer must me tomb.
Reaper, fight me.
Bones! Jody's done for.
Yeah? Hey, we had some good times.
Seer must me tomb.
Cannot whack him any harder! No prisoners.
Another tack, Cap. Oh, I'd be a rig. From feeding the fishes.
Seraphim!
Bring them down.
Got to keep the lad.
What is it? No hurt yet.
No prisoners.
Goins me tomb.
Then! done for. This is futile. Bring them down.
Everything hurts.
No prisoners.
Hey, that wasn't that bad.
Bring them down. Kill them all. No prisoners. Curses. Bring them down. Huh.